Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. It is with great sadness this week, in August 2024, that the world found out of the passing of the incredible and talented Corey Yuen Kwai. But in a bizarre twist, it seems that the news was only made public a whopping 2 years after his death, passing of COVID-19 in 2022. This was brought to light by his old Peking school brother Jackie Chan, who, after mentioning it during a talk about the 65th anniversary of the Seven Little Fortunes, posted on his Weibo account expressing his grief at the loss of his lifelong friend and called for fans and friends of the legendary filmmaker to come together and honour his memory. While many will think it strange that it has taken so long for the news to be made public, and we'll no doubt see some conspiracy theorists igniting the web with bizarre stories, it's understandable in knowing that Yuen Kwai's family refrained from announcing his death so that they could grieve in peace. Born in February of 1951 under the name of Ying Gang Ming, Yuen Kwai was enrolled in Sifu Yu Jim Yuan's academy at a young age, where he would learn Peking opera and martial arts alongside classmates such as Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, Yuen Pyo, Yuen Wah, Yuen Tak, and many others. Like many of those same classmates, and due to the decline of Peking opera across the country, Yuen Kwai would move into the film industry in the late 1960s to work as a bit player, stuntman, and fight director. Like many before him, this would begin at the illustrious Shaw Brothers Studios, where he would appear in films such as The Jade Raksha, The Swordmates, The Golden Lion, 14 Amazons, and many others throughout the 1970s. But Yuen would also find work among the independent studios as an extra and bit player, and at the newly formed Golden Harvest, where he would begin a very lengthy relationship with a small role in Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury. Going on to star in over 120 films, Corey Yuen Kwai would prove his worth as a martial arts actor, impressing in films such as Seven Grandmasters, The Invincible Armour, Secret Rivals 2, Dance of the Drunk Mantis, Born Invincible, and more, where he would excel in intricate moves and weapons work, most of which he had also choreographed himself. In the early 1970s, Yuen would begin work as a martial arts director on films such as Jewel of the Dragons, Evil Snake Girl, Kung Fu 10th Dan, and Jackie Chan's underrated Cub Tiger from Kwantung, where he would repeatedly work alongside the infamous Yuen clan, such as Yuen Wu-ping, Yuen Chengyan, Brandy Yuen, and Yuen Shunyi, and would often get mistaken as one of their siblings by fans and critics for many years. This team-up would also see him assist with the fight scenes on films such as Jackie Chan's Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, Drunken Master, Tower of Death, The Instant Kung Fu Man, and the awesome Crystal Fist, among many others. While his roles on screen would quickly start to change from fighter to funny man, Yuen Kwai would soon turn his attention more so to the making of movies, eventually shaping his name as one of Hong Kong cinema's finest action choreographers and directors, a trait that would see him lend his talents to Western cinema long before films such as Rush Hour, The Matrix, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon were even thought about. Highlighting some incredible choreography on films such as Hitman in the Hand of Buddha, We're Going to Eat You, The Buddha Assassinator, and Jackie Chan's Dragon Lord, Kwai would make his directorial debut in 1982 with the incredible kung fu comedy Ninja in the Dragon's Den, starring Conan Lee, Hiroyuki Sanada, and Huang Zhangli. This would be followed by the genre-defining Yes Madam just a few years later, the epic femme fatale flick starring Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock that set the tone for hardcore Hong Kong action flicks and is still considered today to be one of the greatest female-led martial arts action movies ever made. Even though he was still appearing in and choreographing films for his Peking opera brothers Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan around the same time, Corey Yuen Kwai didn't stop for a moment, going straight into his next directorial effort and American directorial debut with Jean-Claude Van Damme's No Retreat, No Surrender in 1986. This was quickly followed by its awesome sequel and the amazing Righting Wrongs just a year later, with both projects hailing the return of Cynthia Rothrock and the latter seeing her go up against his Peking opera brother Yuen Biao in a film that has also been hailed as one of the best from Hong Kong action cinema.
Nobody sent me here. I'm here to do my duty. This time I'm gonna take you in dead or alive.
After directing and appearing in the Andy Lau-led crime thriller In the Blood, Corey Yuen would remind the cinematic world of his place in the femme fatale genre by directing and choreographing the explosive She Shoots Straight, the action-packed Girls with Guns film that was produced by Sammo Hung and starred his wife Joyce Godenzi in one of the best roles of her career. But it would be soon after this that Yuen Kwai would take a change of direction with his style, teaming up with filmmakers Jeff Lau and David Lai to deliver some of the wildest action comedies from Hong Kong cinema's heyday. This new venture brought us exciting titles such as Chow Sing Chi's hilarious All for the Winner, which was followed by its semi-sequel The Top Bet in 1991. The stylish and highly entertaining Savior of the Soul proved to be one of their finest hours, a loose adaptation of the popular City Hunter manga starring Andy Lau, Anita Moy and Aaron Kwok, although its soon-to-follow sequel was never as impressive even though it starred Kwai in the second billing next to Lau. The hugely underrated Women on the Run, which is a personal favourite of my own, saw Yuen Kwai and David Lai both co-star, with the little-seen but brilliant Vincent Chow flick Mahjong Dragon, along with the outrageously hilarious Black Rose 2, and fantastic Yuen Biao Shaw Brothers piece Hero, pretty much ending their time together in 1997. Of course, in between those aforementioned classics, Corey was behind a host of other films, including Dragons Forever, where he would be credited as the executive director, and Sammo Hung's highly entertaining Ghost Punting, the fourth sequel of the Lucky Stars series. But it would be his team-up with superstar Jet Li that would have fans relishing in many of his most creative works, beginning with 1993's brilliant Fong Sai-yuk and its equally exciting sequel. A year later, Yuen Kwai would lens and choreograph Jet's Bodyguard from Beijing, quickly followed by the epic My Father is a Hero, which is still considered today as another of his most creative pieces. In between, Kwai would direct the action on Jet Li's New Legend of Shaolin and High Risk, both of which were directed by the prolific Wong Jing. It was clear that Yuen's style had made an impact on the fast-growing martial arts star, because when Jet made his move to Hollywood in the late 1990s, there was only one fight director he demanded to have work alongside him, and soon, over a decade later, the highly acclaimed filmmaker was back in the States choreographing the action in Jet Li films such as Lethal Weapon 4, Romeo Must Die, Kiss of the Dragon, Cradle to the Grave, The One, War, and The Expendables. And as Hollywood was finally getting gripped by the Hong Kong style of action, Corey Yuen Kwai was given the chance to expand by working as the action director on Bryan Singer's turn-of-the-century blockbuster, X-Men, as well as getting the chance to direct the first of the hugely popular Jason Statham series, The Transporter, and hugely entertaining live-action game adaptation, DOA, Dead or Alive, in 2006. While he wouldn't return as the director of the Transporter sequels, Yuen Kwai would stick around as the action choreographer and second unit director, later working with Statham on a few more of his titles, and other Hollywood productions such as Blood, the Last Vampire, The Man with the Iron Fists, and Birth of the Dragon starring Philip Ng. Of course, we can't forget that he still kept up his work in Hong Kong after those big changes in 1998, directing films such as Enter the Eagles, The Avenging Fist, So Close, The Twins Effect 2, and the 2011 kung fu comedy Treasure Inn, which would also be his last. His role as an action director would also continue back home for at least another 2 decades, with Yuen choreographing the action in films such as A Chinese Tall Story, Red Cliff 1 and 2, Shaolin with Andy Lau and Jackie Chan, Naked Soldier and the epic Rise of a Legend, both with Sammo Hung, Jet Li's Badges of Fury, and the outrageous Soccer Killer that would see him team up one more time with Jeff Lau, as well as make one of his last on-screen appearances. With over 120 film roles, almost 30 directorial efforts, and close to 100 credits as an action choreographer, it's fair to say that the life and career of the late Corey Yuen Kwai was indeed an illustrious one that leaves an unparalleled legacy in the wild world of action cinema that will be enjoyed for many years to come. It's hard for me to exactly pinpoint my first Corey Yuen experience, with films such as Righting Wrongs, Crystal Fist and No Retreat, No Surrender being on my radar from a very young age, but I do know that no matter where I was, whatever film was in my hand, or whatever I was about to watch, if I ever saw the name of Corey Yuen Kwai listed in any role, I knew for a damn fact that I was in for a treat. Rest in peace, Master Yuen, and thank you for 5 decades of hard work, entertainment, and inspiration. You will be missed.